Japan Tzu Chi volunteers assess damage after Typhoon Hagibis and plan for aid distribution. A young boy in Taiwan with severe illness finally receives a successful bone marrow transplant. Welcome to Diet Headlines. I'm Maggie Tai. Thank you for joining us. Typhoon Hagibis brought devastation to Nagano Prefecture in Japan. Tzu Chi volunteers went there to assess the damage. Apart from sending blankets, they also expressed their wishes to provide hot food to affected residents. At the same time, 13 volunteers went to Kawagoe Prefecture to assist in cleaning, hoping to let affected residents return to normal life as soon as possible.
At 9 o'clock in the morning, 20 volunteers reported to Kawagoe Volunteer Center. They put on vests and went to the affected area to clean up. Although Sayako can't carry heavy things, she was the best supporter of the on-site volunteers.
Because of my health, I thought that I might not be able to participate in this disaster relief. I didn't expect that I could drive 4 brothers and sisters and some other things to come today.
The cleanup site is Hazumo's house, which is next to the riverbank. Since the terrain is low, even though the water has receded, everywhere is muddy. Things outside the factory have been soaked in water and cannot be used again. Everything has to be sorted, including large machines. At present, only the residents in the country can volunteer to help clean up. 20 volunteers in Kawagoe are very grateful to have the opportunity to bring volunteers from different regions to come to the disaster area.
We can't help even though Kawagoe has such a big sister. We came here today to contribute our part, just like the local residents here. I'm really grateful to Tzu Chi brothers and sisters who are here today.
Such a big natural disaster makes us have a cautious and sincere heart towards nature.
People working together create a more powerful force. Volunteers finished all the tasks in one morning. Although they were covered with mud, they cherished the opportunity to contribute to the affected residents.
Cyclone Idai blew off the whole roof of Marirekwa Primary School in Zaka, Zimbabwe. More than 100 students handled in a classroom to attend lessons in June, which was the coldest season there. Many students got cold and flu. Tzu Chi volunteers donated roofing materials and helped with the construction. They also donated rice to the school to alleviate the food shortage problem.
Cyclone Idai blew the roof off Marirekwa Primary School in Zaka, Zimbabwe. Once there were more than 100 students huddled in a classroom to attend lessons.
At that time, the classroom was overcrowded. I could not move easily. There were 100 students attending class together, making it difficult for them to pay attention. I also could not control them, so their learning efficiency was really poor.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Zimbabwe saw the harsh condition of the school. They donated roofing material to the school in mid-September and motivated volunteers in the community to help rebuild the roof.
Just want to thank Tzu Chi Foundation.
We really thank Tzu Chi Foundation. May God bless you. It was very hard to teach 100 students in one class, but now the situation improved. Thank you, Tzu Chi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Master. Thank you,
The school is located at the area which has been prone to drought for many years. Most of the kids grew up with their grandparents. Apart from aiding the construction of school building, volunteers also donate rice so that the children will not have an empty stomach.
Some of the children are school orphans or their parents went to other cities to work and left them with their grandparents. Their guardians are often too old to work. They do not have enough food to eat, not to mention the cost of uniforms and stationery.
Apart from this, volunteers also taught the students to plant vegetables to be self-reliant.
Here is our vegetable garden. Today is our turn to water the plants. After harvesting, we will have vegetables to eat.
Volunteers planted seeds of love in Zaka, Zimbabwe, making the residents in the community learn to love each other and share warmth with everyone.
In Sri Lanka, Tzu Chi volunteers cherish the opportunity to help those impoverished families to overcome difficulties. Some of them are solitary seniors and some have financial difficulties. Tzu Chi volunteers help them clean their houses and replace furniture so as to provide them a safer place to live.
After moving the bed outside the house, Tzu Chi volunteers were pretty sure that helping this family to clean and replace furniture was a correct decision. The light of the room came from a small lamp hanging from the ceiling. When removing the bed from the room, volunteers were frightened by a small animal found under the bed. After calming down, volunteers collected some mud to fill up the holes on the floor before reinstalling the bed frame and mattress.
No one ever came here to help us before but Tzu Chi Foundation. Tzu Chi volunteers save us from difficulties and we deeply appreciate their help.
They were very happy to get new mattresses on their beds, and they were rolling on it. And seeing that made us really happy.
Tzu Chi volunteers understood the difficulty of house cleaning for a solitary senior, so they cleaned the house for her.
Tzu Chi volunteers did a very good job in cleaning the house for me. Due to my physical illness, I couldn't do this course on my own.
Worrying that she might fall down, Tzu Chi volunteer installed the light for her. They also helped clean up the floor and ceiling. Some Chi Shao and Tzu Qing stayed outside to remove the mud and dirt from the ditches, so as to avoid mosquito breeding.
This is a meaningful mission for us. As a member of the team, I enjoyed the mission. This is what Buddhism taught us to help those impoverished solitary seniors.
Sri Lanka Tzu Chi volunteers also visit Matsarana Elderly Home every month to hold a concert for the seniors, spreading the love and care through music and laughter.
Today we introduced two lay practitioners in the medical-related field. One is Jing Shi from Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital, while the other is Jing Li from the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital. The two have been dedicated as medical volunteers for a while now, accompanying patients during their hospital visits, meanwhile never forgetting to continue their self-cultivation on the Bodhisattva path. When the opportunity came to be among the first to receive their certification as lay practitioner from Master Zheng Yan, they knew this was the sign they needed to continue on their righteous path.
Jingxi, the morning sun. It's not too bright to the eyes, but there is warmth to give people energy.
Jing Li, quiet, stable, and forceful. It is a sense of security for oneself and others. It's a calming force in when people are panicked.
重新搁开始，对吧？目标拢是对菩萨行，安心心哦。不管你是在从事医疗，
No matter if you're a medical volunteer or a lay practitioner, it's all just the title. The most important is how to spread what the Master has taught us. Self-cultivation through honesty and upholding the truth throughout the community, and follow our vows of compassion and relief to help the sick and poor.
虽然我发了心。
Though I vow to be a mother to all patients, I still need to take care of the hospital administrative and medical staff. Because without them, the patients would suffer. So the medical volunteers must be there for them too.
In my decision to return to the Jingsi abode, I knew that it was a path of no return. I think what was most important was in the cause and effect. The cause was that I was searching for direction in life, and the effect was in meeting Master Cheng Yen.
我更想要把慈济的精神。
I want to promote Tzu Chi spirit in our medical volunteer group. As humanitarian spirits can help the
有
patients.
人文精神，病人才有福啊！这个小小的心意，也是表达我们对各位的尊敬哈。所以希望你们好好的照顾好身体。那我们一次一次会再来， 一次一次会看到你们就这么健康，这么健在。感谢哦。
我们努力朝上人教导我
We're
们的
working toward what the
内修
Master taught us. We need to cultivate ourselves, adjust our speaking, temper, and behavior. This way we can be an example for others to follow and interact with them.
以这样的一个身形去跟人群互动。
我把自己当作
I see myself living the monastic life, but I use my sentient image to get closer to people. I will spread Tzu Chi's Dharma wisdom far and wide. I can say proudly that I am a lay practitioner.
Tzu Chi was diagnosed with severe acute aplastic anemia after he finished his military service. The doctor informed him he has less than 1 year to live. However, his family didn't give up hope and found a donor who is a successful match for the transplantation.
The newborn baby comes after his rebirth. Tzu Chi was diagnosed with aplastic anemia when he was 22 years old. His entire family was overwhelmed after knowing the bad news.
The doctor privately told me and my husband that if we couldn't soon find a match for transplantation, based on his own experiences, my son has less than a year to live.
I once lost my will to live, but after seeing my mother praying for God's help right in front of the hospital, I told myself to survive from this illness for my family. I can get wounded easily. It could be here, here, and here.
Having bruises all over his body, feeling exhausted by walking a few steps. He even once had a blurry vision in his left eye. However, 2 months later, as if God heard their prayers, they successfully found a match for the transplantation.
It's like seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. I wish I could recover soon and treat my parents right.
When I received a phone call informing that they found a successful match for me, I was shocked and felt grateful. The funny thing is, on the other side, the recipient at first was confused and couldn't believe it.
Nan Sanliang helps others without hesitation. Even he had his own busy working schedule and has to endure some side effects along the process of donation. He still cooperates well. He even made the donation twice, however, never felt regret for doing it.
We all know that people usually have some additional work to do for their job. However, he eliminated all kinds of difficulties and cooperated with us well till the very end.
I don't regret what I did. There was some discomfort during the donating process. But isn't that worth it for saving a person's life? I wish he could live well and have a normal life.
It has been more than 20 years that he hasn't returned to the place. Now he recalls the moment.
I was here passing behind the booth and felt curious about the bone marrow donation. So I asked them, what if I have a busy working schedule in the future and couldn't cooperate for the donation? The Tzu Chi volunteers replied me not to worry about it. God will arrange it and things will just be fine.
Destiny connects the two people. The transplant surgery was successful. Now Tzu Chi can laugh at his changes.
I was once a 40 kg skinny guy, but now I get fat easily. I wonder if this has something to do with the genes of my donor.
He takes good care of himself now and won't let us worry too much about his health.
I feel very grateful for the donor's help. Without him, my husband wouldn't be here now by my side.
A kind-hearted donor has given the patient a second chance at life and saved the family. No one can predict the future, but who knows? Maybe God already arranged the path for us.
TMA members in Taiwan host remote area medical outreach each month. Let's hear from a nurse that has joined these monthly visits to Sanzhi, New Taipei City, about her experience.
我们假日出去玩，也是可能到这些偏乡来，但是我觉得我们都与其在那边跟人家塞车，在那边跟人家挤，倒不如来这边其实做更有意义的事情。
This is 61-year-old Li Qingchi, who, due to his deteriorating health, looks far older than his actual age. Though laughing about the matter now, this team doctor has spent much time encouraging the patient to quit drinking.
Seeing patients' heart fill up with hope, we too are feeling good.
I've enjoyed the scenery on the way up, and although I know we are here to provide some company and expertise to these patients, I think I've benefited the most from this experience.
Knowing the senior food delivery service is not in session due to the national holiday, Dr. Zhen Wenshang purchased some food for the seniors he's visiting today. At the next home, doctors find a son who has taken good care of his aging father.
你是每天的，你的辛苦比较多，真的了。
A former principal at Tainan's Tzu Chi Senior High School, Zhang Jingkun, had a stroke 6 months ago. After his condition was stabilized, he is now resting and recovering in Danshui. A TCM doctor helps with acupuncture while volunteers visit and provide comfort. Looking after these patients like they are family, this is the motto of Tzu Chi International Medical Association.
In our continuing report about food protection and climate change, we visit a popular Japanese tourist area which has experienced very uneven temperatures. In June 2016, there was snow in the summer, and then in July 2018, it was the hottest July day in Japanese history. This is a clear example of climate change over the past 2 or 3 years. The weather has warmed, allowing the area to diversify from buckwheat production to now grow apples and rice. Follow our report to see how local farmers are making the most out of climate change.
Hokkaido on February 9, 2019. This is the coldest day since 1957, 62 years ago. On May 26, 2019, Hokkaido's high temperature was 39.5 degrees, setting a new high of 127 years since temperatures were recorded. Hokkaido has a variety of growing environments experiencing extreme climates. To learn more about Japan's climate change, we're heading to the northernmost part of Hokkaido, Fukagawa City. Imamura is a flower grower in Hokkaido. He has farmed for 54 years, though he began to plant greenhouse flowers more than 20 years ago. Remember that when he was a child, the weather in Hokkaido was not so extreme.
The weather continues to be successively hot, and it also has continuous rain, record-setting high temperatures or high winds we have never experienced before. It seems like this is all happening in Japan.
Flowers planted in February 2019 will be harvested during Japanese tomb sweeping in August. Although the extreme climate has not directly affected greenhouse cultivation, the hot summer has made him start thinking about the impact of heat on his flowers.
We expect the sun to come out, but the flowers do not need high temperatures. Actually, flowers are afraid of heat, so we have this sunshade material. You can see it protects the roots with one side being white and the other side black. Too much heat is not good for the roots.
The coldest day in Hokkaido's history is February 2019, while the hottest day was May 2019. In just 3 months, it went from minus 31.3 degrees to 39.5 degrees, with the temperature difference being nearly 70 degrees. This is just one season in Hokkaido. A continues to rain heavily outside the greenhouse with the temperature at 14 degrees. However, the day before it was more than 30 degrees and sunny, with the temperature difference in Hokkaido getting bigger and bigger and environmental control in the greenhouse becoming more laborious than before.
The latitude in 43 degrees north, which was once too cold to grow anything. But as Hokkaido gets hotter and hotter, this kind of weather may be good for farming.
Going over here, we can see recent apple tree blossoms which are rarely seen.
It is not yet summer and the temperature has already hit 30 degrees. In this weather, he has to trim the flowers or pollinate, which is just part of the apple cultivation process, which has to be done manually.
This apple orchard is about 3 hectares in size, with about 3,500 apple trees.
Originally a carpenter, he took over this 3-hectare apple orchard from his ill father-in-law, who is the largest apple farmer in the region.
Because Hokkaido was cold before, apples did not grow too big. Recently, because of the warming climate, it is possible to produce apples that are better and better. This crisis has created opportunities for us.
Hokkaido is getting hotter every year may be good for the growth of apples, but the number of natural disasters are also increasing. Heavy rains and typhoons affect flowering and fruiting. Saplings have also been damaged by typhoons.
Now on this side are the apples we have, but their sweetness is very high.
This farmer says that there were a lot of apple orchards in the vicinity, but because apple orchards are labor-intensive, many are planting rice paddies that can be cultivated mechanically. Hokkaido has 1/4 of the country's agricultural land and is the largest producer of Japanese agricultural products. It is tops in potato production and second in buckwheat and third in rice. But 20 or 30 years ago, Hokkaido rice wasn't very good and no one wanted to plant it.
Rice likes higher temperatures, so climate warming is better for Hokkaido.
According to statistics from this professor at Takusoku University, an average farmer in Hokkaido currently has about 20 hectares of farmland, which is equivalent in size to 4 to 5 Tokyo domes. With global warming affecting climate, it is beneficial to plant rice in Hokkaido, but the temperature of seawater rising increases the intensity of the typhoons. With the temperature of seawater rising by 1 degree, rainfall within 400 kilometers around the eye of the typhoon will increase by 19%. Hokkaido has seen great climate change in the past 10 years, with farmers at the front line feeling the deepest impact. However, the gradual warming of cold Hokkaido has also ushered in a season of good harvest, making it one of the most special places to benefit from climate change.
The Children's Day in Brazil is October 12th. For over a decade, Tzu Chi Brazil Liaison Office has been going to schools and remote areas to send toys to children. Take a look at this year's celebration and see you next time.